Alright, chat, we are live. What's up, chat? How's it going? How's it going, chat? Okay. Alright. Alright, chat, if you are picking up anything in the Fortnite item shop food, use one spoiler credit code mortal_snow in the Fortnite item shop, hashtag ad, hashtag epic partner. Really do appreciate it. Alright, here we go. Leon of the stream. Alright, come on, loading. Using DirectX 12 because for some reason performance mode just runs absolutely shit on my PC. I don't know why. Makes no fucking sense, but it is what it is. Come on. What's going on, bro? How are we today, chat? Why is my fucking game just not loading? On the stream. Look, bro, chat, I'm gonna be honest with you about Fortnite Chapter 7, bro, because I'm gonna make this a video as well, so if you want to say random things in the chat, it might be included in the video. If it's too far, I'm gonna blur the chat message out. But, yeah, the thing is, I've waited a little bit to say this because I, like, don't want to be that guy, and if I say that, you guys already know exactly what I'm gonna say, I feel like, but I don't know. I'm not, like, the biggest fan of Chapter 7. I don't necessarily think this chapter's, like, totally bad, but I want to say I'm not the biggest fan of this chapter. I don't know, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this, because I don't think this chapter's completely bad, but I think the main thing I'm not the biggest fan of is how they kind of went for like a full like LA, Nevada type vibe, like realistic American type vibe for the map, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I feel like I like Fortnite when it's a bit more like, you know, goofy, a bit more Fortnite-y. Like Chapter 6's launch, I think was just perfect. Honestly, one of the most fun launches of a chapter. I had such blast streaming it when it came out, but I didn't get that same hit when I streamed Chapter 7. And I think it's just because the chapter's just so, it's in terms of just how the map looks, it's just too realistic. I don't like how they've gone for like a really realistic vibe with the map. Take that out. In case I can say some weird stuff. Alright, whatever, baby. We both know you just all talk. Anyway. Yeah, look, I think it's. I'm also going to say this because I think a lot of people say the Battle Pass is really good. To be honest with you, I'm going to be honest with you, Battle Passes, I don't really care. The Battle Pass this season is kind of mid, but if I'm being honest with you, I'm not someone who gets excited. I used to get excited for cosmetics and Battle Passes, and Battle Passes did used to be one of my favourite things when I got hyped for seasons. I'm going to be honest with you right now. I couldn't give two shits about Battle Passes. Battle Passes are not what I define if a season's good or not. I do not care about cosmetics that much anymore. In terms of at least Battle Passes, like that's not a reason I get excited. But for me, it's always top priority is map changes, right? Items is like a secondary thing, but map changes and just the map is what I really look for in a new season. And most seasons they nail it. I'm gonna be honest with you, this season I don't think they knocked it out of the park. Personally, I prefer Fortnite, like I said, I prefer Fortnite when it's a little bit more like, you know, less realistic, and more Fortnite-y, and this chapter's like very, very realistic, based off like, you know, like America, Los Angeles, and stuff like that, which I'm not the biggest fan of. When the leakers first came out saying that this chapter would be themed, and all stuff on the internet and Twitter came out about this chapter being all like a Nevada and Los Angeles themed, I was quite skeptical about it. I was like, but like the Simpsons season, I said, okay, I'm going to wait for it to launch, I'm going to have an open mind, and maybe they'll blow it out of the park and it'll be really, really good. I said that with Simpsons season, I probably was going to hate it, but I'm going to still give it a go, and I gave it a go in Simpsons season, and I still didn't like it, right? I said, I thought the same thing to myself about this season, like, it doesn't sound that interesting, that American Los Angeles type theme, but I'm gonna have an open mind. We're gonna try when it comes out, and we're gonna see if I like it. I tried it, and to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of Shadow. It's not totally bad. Like, I can still see myself playing this game, but definitely not as much. But speaking of that, I want to actually get up something because Fortnite GG released like their like, you know, the recap thing, where you can like see your played seasons and stuff for the your most played things. One second, just get that sniper. Just got assigned to my Twitter chat, just 2 seconds. Because I didn't realize I wasn't signed in on this computer. I want to get my Fortnite Wrapped for this year. Has anyone else checked their Fortnite Wrapped for this year? Who's checked their Fortnite Wrapped for this year? Just try and find my Fortnite Wrapped. Posted it. Okay, yeah, so I've got my Fortnite Wrapped up on the screen here. So, one thing I like, I would say about most chapters is normally I like their Season 1 versions the most, and then as we go in, they kind of like make the map not as good, and I always like chapters a lot more at their start. Like for Chapter 6, for example, I thought Season 1 was great, and then as the chapters progressed, they kind of ruined the map in my opinion. And I feel like early on Chapter 6 was a bit better. And actually, that goes to show, because my Fortnite recap for 2025, I've got my top, like there's 6 seasons in Chapter 6, right? Including, 4 seasons and then the 2 mini seasons, right? If we look at how much I've played, 354 hours this year. I've had 3,447 matches, 410 wins, 114,028 kills, 15,069 levels, and if you look at my most played seasons, I'll show us on the screen here because I'm going to make this into a video. My top played season of this year was Chapter 6 Season 1 with 30%. Then it was Lawless with Chapter Season 2 with 22%. One second. Then it was Super with 19%. Then it was Shock and Awesome, Chapter Season 4 with 17%. Then it was the Star Wars season with 9%. And then my least played season was 3%, Simpsons. Not gonna lie, I literally played that season on launch and then didn't touch it until like the last week of the season. I still didn't even play too much then, so that doesn't surprise me. The only thing I would say that surprises me is that I feel like Super should have probably been above Lawless and maybe just a little bit, a tiny bit below Season 1. I'm surprised I played Lawless more. Actually, maybe I'm not. I feel like that, I've seen a lot of people on, a lot of other people have the same, like, I think CEO has the exact same, like, played seasons as me. Like, not the exact percentage in hours, but just in terms of, like, what seasons they played the most. They have the same order, which, I'm not gonna lie, to be honest with you, like, the Star Wars season being so low down and the Simpsons season doesn't surprise me at all, if I'm being honest with you, because I'm being honest with you, I've just say that the collab seasons just don't hit as hard. Mini seasons just were not a huge hit, and I'm being honest with you, one thing I'm happy about, leakers have confirmed that Chapter 7 is set to have no mini seasons, which I think is a really strong, good thing. I think Chapter 7 I might not like at the start, but I think Chapter 7 is like a reverse thing of like Chapter 6, where I think, unlike Chapter 6, where I think it started off strong and got a little bit like not as good throughout, even though their seasons weren't good. I think this season chapter could be maybe reverse that, and it could get better as we go in, and maybe they make the map a little bit less realistic and more Fortnite-fied as we go into the seasons. The fact that there's no mini seasons, no mini collab seasons, is a really strong sign. I am really happy there's no mini seasons. At least as of now, leakers are saying there's no mini seasons, which I think is a very strong. Hopefully, I'm hoping they stick to that. Look, I really think Fortnite needs to move away from collab seasons, move away from. Look, if you want to do collab seasons sometimes, sure, but don't do it every chapter and constantly. I think this chapter, I don't mind if we get maybe we get mini seasons next chapter, but I think Chapter 7 needs to move away from it and just really hardcore focus on themselves. I think they're going to do that because obviously they're going a lot more into storyline again now. They're reviving storyline. We're in a new era for the storyline now. Fortnite seems to care a lot about it. A lot of stuff's going on, which I think is very, very strong, very strong sign. You know, Fortnite's obviously, you know, the lore has been a bit neglected for a bit, but they seem to be caring about it a lot more now. Why the hell is this guy? I know there's someone around here. I can literally hear I just heard footsteps. My most played season was apparently Chapter Season 2. I think that season was kind of a banger though, I'm not gonna lie. Like, don't get me wrong, I do think it was a little bit lazy in the sense it just felt really similar. It honestly just felt like all the high seasons put together, so I think out of the high seasons, it was a top high season, although I don't think it beats Chapter Season 2. I would say maybe it beats Chapter 4 Season 4, maybe, but it doesn't beat Chapter 2 Season 2. That season will still be the best heist season for me. And before people say spy, actually it was the spy season. It's literally the same fucking thing, right? Just shut up. But like, yeah. I don't, the list of like my most played seasons really doesn't surprise me much. I will say this because also like, you know, Shock and Awesome being my least played original season of Chapter 6 also doesn't surprise me because that season I just think was all over the place. I mean, you had like the bug theme of the season, but then they didn't commit to that, and like a month before the season ended, even before Fortnite, they just completely ditched that whole theme, and the bugs just left. And then you had like a week of like nothing really happening with K-pop Demon Hunters taking over. And then Fortnite hit and kind of Doja Cat just took over the map. And it was really weird what was going on there. And so they could have made Fortnite around bugs, but instead they just kind of went into Doja Cat. I think Doja Cat was actually meant to be the festival artist, and then they bailed out at the last minute because maybe she wanted to be... I don't know if that's actually true or not, but it looks like that because they put a lot of promotion of her with like the festival backgrounds. I think she was at, and there was like, and the festival artist around that time launched, and it was just an original random collab of no artist, was just some random original person. So I think Doja Cat was meant to be the festival season headliner, but then they bailed out last second because she wanted to be part of Fortnite or something. Because I think she's got a bit of a Fortnite fan. So yeah, that season struggled to commit to its theme, so I'm not surprised that's my least played original season of Chapter 6, and I want to see if I'm being honest with you. I would say that's probably... Yeah, that is my least... If I had to rank the seasons, I liked Chapter 6. Let me know what anyone else thinks. I would say Chapter 6 Season 3 Super is my favourite. Then it's Season 1. Then Lawless. Then Shock and Awesome Chapter Season 4. Then Star Wars, and then Simpsons. I would say I'd probably prefer Star Wars over Simpsons, because even though Simpsons committed more into the theme, and if I was a Simpsons fan, I probably would have liked Simpsons more. I'm still a Star Wars fan at the end of the day, so I prefer Star Wars over. So honestly, I think my Fortnite rap for this year actually reflects it quite well. Except I probably preferred Super over Hunters, but yeah, it doesn't surprise me I'm not really that surprised looking at this, to be honest. I'm curious what you all were thinking in the chat, what we think about Chapter 6 in terms of seasons. Shooting, chat, what do you think's the strongest Chapter 6 season in general chat, what we say? I've got reload. That's impossible. I was out of range. I'm out of range of their shotgun. They can't see me. I cannot see them. There's no way they can see me. I don't care. Can't be asked to write the reason. They can just look at it. There's no way. I don't care. Call me crazy all you want. I was out of range of their shot. If I can't see me, they can't see. If I can't see them, there's no way they could see me. I literally had no shot on them. There's no way they could have jumped up and seen me. I was quite far behind the cliff, and I couldn't see them. There's no way they could have got that shot off. That's BS, bro. Exactly what? I'm actually pretty happy with my Fortnite wraps though for this year. I would say this year's not been necessarily a bad year for Fortnite. I think Chapter 6 has been pretty decent. Minus the mini season. What the fuck? What the hell? They're actually doing, like, human versions of the skins? I was always wondering if these characters were skins, were they actually going to give them humanized versions for Ninjago? What the fuck? Lego Ninjago X Fortnite Kai skin. But it's a human version of him. That looks so weird. Is that Kai? That looks so fucking weird. Seeing him in human form like that. What the fuck? That's weird, bro. That's weird, man. They're not necessarily generic ninjas, it's just because they've never really been done in human form because they're Lego characters, so... I wish there was like a way to just turn this setting off so you don't have a chance of getting a game that spawn like this. I hate the surfing thing. That's also another thing I did not like the first week. I also don't like the fact that they vaulted all the modes. I don't like the fact they vaulted all the modes and forced you to have to only play Chapter 6 really for a bit. Because honestly, I don't know, sometimes I want to play like OG and a bit shivers before night sometimes. Also, I don't like I'm not a fan of this mechanic. Like, it's cool, it sounds cool on paper, but the battle bus is just so slow. The fact they forced you to do this and you couldn't use the battle bus and you had like no proper way of accessing the map for like the first like week of the season did kind of throw me off a little bit because they basically made most of the map hard to access, which I was not a fan of. The thing is, though, the gameplay, the weapons and the items, I actually don't mind this season, being honest. Weapons, items and stuff are actually pretty cool. I'm just not a fan of the map. It just feels like I'm playing GTA. Really, it's just, I don't know. I don't know really how to put it in words, but I just don't know. It really just feels like, it just feels too realistic. And I like Fortnite for the fact it's normally not really much a very realistic looking game. It doesn't take itself too seriously a lot of the time. Most played season in Chapter 6 was Season 1, Season 95. Okay. Yeah, I feel like Season 1 was a really strong season for this chapter, I'm not gonna lie. Chapter 6 Season 1 for Chapter Season 1 was a really strong season for Chapter 6. For me personally, it's Season 1 and Season 1 and Season 3. Gameplay wise, Season 3 just is my favourite season in general, because it actually had like good storyline, with a really good mini event, with a cool mini event. Honestly, I liked more than Death Star Sabotage, which is funny, because that was a full-scale event, but I liked the mini event this season. The storyline was good. It wasn't amazing, but it was okay. And the gameplay was just perfect that season. The weapons, the Spire Rifle, honestly, was so satisfying. The shotguns were not too bad, but they were kind of ass, but the mobility was so good. The surfboard, the shockwaves and the stuff. Superman Mythic was kind of shit, but they actually buffed it and made it a lot better, so I'm happy about that. I also think another thing, I don't know if we're going to get superpower things this season or not. And I don't think we're going to get a super ultra power like thing like Godzilla this season, because they would have probably put it in the trailer, because we knew we were going to get Godzilla when the season chapter literally first launched. But I like the idea of those superpower things, but I think they need to stop doing them every season. You dick. I'm not getting the power up thing because I'm just getting marks on the map. It's not worth it. Bro, just get over it, you're not getting me. film show on stream. Stealth on stream. But I will say one thing I think this chapter's really interesting is the lore. I'm really invested in the lore of this chapter, I'm not gonna lie. The Dark Voyager, with his connection to the last reality, the fact his mothership, his like cube crater, which is not the same by the way as the one we saw in chapter end, they are different cube cradles. But the fact his cube cradle destroys a battle bus, then it's quite far away from the islands, it's getting closer and closer, and all of a sudden it just disappears, right around before the time season 7 of OG's not long from launching. Like, where the hell did the cube cradle from his cube cradle, Dark Voyager's cube cradle was getting closer and closer, and all of a sudden it's just vanished. Like, where the hell did it go, you know? Why did it just stop getting close to the map all of a sudden? It's just all of a sudden it's just disappeared. If you look, it was near Spawn Island not long ago, and now all of a sudden it's just stopped getting closer. The Dark Voyager ship has just completely vanished. It's not here anymore. And we know that the Zero Shard here, they're trying to basically unite the Zero Shards here to reform the Zero Point here, make this the new bridge. And basically this is going to become like, this is like Reality 2.6 something, I think, at 2.6.6 or something. And they're going to basically turn it into the new Reality 0. Which I think is quite cool. Where the fuck is... My gun just fucking taking. I'm better than these people. I'm so much better than them. They just keep getting lucky shots at me when I'm trying to fucking go around the corner. I'm so sick of dying to players who are so much less skilled than me. No, I didn't have fun. Fuck. This game actually is just a troll. I swear to God. Why? It always gives you the like those survey things when you don't want them. Yeah, give me a survey. Did I have fun last game? Also, I just died. That's great. Thank you. Fuck off, Fortnite. Come on. I don't know if I just need to get the boost on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to grind this chapter enough in terms of how much I enjoy it to be able to get Dark Voyager for a bit. I don't know. I'll probably play a bit of reloads actually, maybe. Because you can still level up and reload, so. It's annoying because I like the weapons, I don't know, I'm not a fan of the map, bro. It's just... I hate this, honestly, I'm so sick of saying this because it sounds like I'm just a Fortnite hater. I don't want to be a Fortnite hater. I love this game. I've played this game for so many years, but I don't like this chapter. I just don't. It just generally just feels like I'm playing GTA. It's too realistic the map. I feel like Fortnite actually tries to be more like Fortnite, like very like goofy and like sort of like Chapter 6 map felt just so Fortnite. The map was vibrant. It had cool POIs. Yeah, sometimes the POIs are based off of like some places. They have some POIs based off places, but it still feels very Fortnite-y. This map has some elements of Fortnite, but it just feels way too like realistic. And also the map is not very vibrant. It is very similar to like it's got similar sort of complaints about it that Chapter 5 had. It's just quite dull. The colours are quite dull. It's not very like vibrant. I think Fortnite when they have vibrant maps is always the best. Chapter 6 and Chapter 4 are maps that just pop just so well because their maps were just the colours were so vibrant. I thought that Chapter 6 they really learned from Chapter 5 from the dull map, and then Chapters 5 and 7 they've just seemed like they've gone back down the rabbit hole again. I love the items, and like I said, I think the items and weapons that we got this season are really interesting. It's just... I don't know, I feel like a lot of these POIs also feel really similar, like a lot of them are just like very like city and casino-y like. They just feel like the POIs feel very... I get that because it's, you know, based in America, I get that, but... A lot of the POI, most of the POIs, they just all feel so similar. Because I felt they're based off like, you know, real life places and towns and city type areas, they all just feel way too similar to POIs, if that makes sense. I like that we got this pistol back. This is actually the Chapter 4 pistol, I think, isn't it? Pretty sure it's the Chapter 1 from Chapter 4. I'm really hoping Winterfest is going to be good, but I've not got my hopes set on Winterfest because I'm being honest, I'm expecting Winterfest to be mid. Because Winterfest they don't seem to care much about Winterfest anymore, so I'm not going into Winterfest expecting it to like hopefully be good. Bro. This is fine. I'm hoping maybe not as good. I don't know. When was the last Winterfest event we actually had that was good, to be honest? I'd say, honestly, it had to probably be Chapter 3. The last time they actually cared a lot about Winterfest and went all that was probably Chapter 3. I don't know, it's weird though, isn't it? Because they go all out with Fortnite Nightmares, but for some reason they just don't go all out with Winterfest anymore. I don't know why. Maybe it's something to do because they literally around that time they come out around just at the same time new chapters have just come out. So it's kind of like awkward timing because it's hard to work. But the thing is they have separate teams to work on all these certain things, so that surely isn't the case, right? I don't know. I feel like Winterfest events just don't. I don't know. They just don't seem to go all out with Winterfest anymore. Can't, man. Why is everyone so sweaty and nerdy, man? It's 11 o'clock, okay? Go jerk off somewhere. Like, stop playing Fortnite. Why are there so many sweats on at 11 o'clock at night? I honestly thought it would be good to play at this time because the sweats be getting off like work and school and stuff. But people are still sweating their asses off. How do you all feel about Chapter 7 in the chat? How are we feeling about Chapter 7? I need storyline quests. Okay. Gameplay reload. Even reload, you're basically forced to play Chapter 7 because you're on the chapter on the map, on like a small chapter on the map. Why is there a square around the map? My weapon. can't mantle from there. It's not possible. Come on, game. Just make it impossible. Why the fuck? Ugh. Damn it, man. Fuck's sake. I'm ahead of have a good stream noise. Start pretty doing strength. Where the fuck am I getting shot from? Yeah, I'm on stream. I'd always get away, man. Every time. I could be shooting me in a second. He'll come back for me. Please like, share, subscribe.